All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abdon Sib. Sorry that I'm not showing my face. uh, okay, so today I'll be presenting on the Itzamna Society and its proud Maya heritage, the Kashming Elijio Panti National Park. All right, so many of you might know the name, and I maybe might not know where it is or have never visited. So today we'll cover what the Elijio Panti National Park has done back in the day and what it continues to do. Okay. So we only have 15 minutes time, so I hope I cover as much as I can. All right. So thanks to Miss Maria Garcia and the Itzamna Society who helped in providing information for this presentation. All right. So the picture that you see on the background there, that's the Sapodela waterfalls. And later on in the presentation, you will see a video of I won't spoil it for you. There's a video about this fall. Okay. Okay. Abstract. Okay, so the Nohokashming Panti National Park is an exemplary cultural haven for many since it provides a history of healing in Belize within the Maya communities, especially by the late Don Elijio Panti. All right, so there's a lot of valuable practices that have been taken place in the national park itself. It doesn't have to do only with healing, of course. Like that there's several ceremonies that have been done, carried out by our local Maya communities, and also like by international Maya healers. They take advantage of the opportunity to join us in having uh, these amazing activities in the El Panti National Park. But even though all of that has been done, there's a lot more conscientious education that needs to be done, right? So we can say that the purpose of the national park can be carried out. Um, this is a famous quote, not famous really, but it's a favorite quote from the late Don Elijio Panti and also by Miss Maria Garcia, right? And it says, Tana is San Antonio, sorry, I didn't explain that. Tana is what we call San Antonio Village. It's our home, all right? So Tana is a place where children are handed down the traditions and knowledge of their ancestors. It is a place where communion with nature is understood and honored. It is a place where our Yucatec language is spoken daily. It is a place where children follow their parents into the rainforest in search of healing herbs, and the past is brought to life via the words of the elders. We open the door to the past as well as to the future. We also open the door to true self sufficiency through plant and harvesting that is sacred, done with prayer and thanksgiving. This allows our lives to be rich and whole. So, this is one of the things that Elijio Panti National Park stands for, right? Because all of the knowledge will be passed on, and it is not done only by us, but it's done by the elders and also the history behind it. Right. So the Elijio Panti National Park was established back in 2001, with the main purpose, of course, to fulfill the wishes of the late Don Elijio Panti, and which, in his words, was to protect and preserve the medicinal plants used by him and the ancient people within the national park. Right. So there are history of our people back in the day lived here. There are traces of evidence everywhere with the caves and all the ancient pottery that exists in there, right? All their ceremonies that are done, right? There are traces of the ashes that they left behind, right? So we can see that even now that we continue to practice this, it has been carried out for millennia, right? So and also another goal is to protect the valuable resources of our ancestors which dwell deep within the forest. There are hidden sites um, under the canopy, and we just cannot see it with our bare eyes, right? As most of you know, that the lidar actually helped to uncover most of these things, most of the hidden gems, we can say. Right. So, fortunately, the Elijio Panti National Park has a lot of valuable cultural resources in there. And here, I remember I told you about the Sapodela waterfalls. So here you have a video showing Sapodilla waterfalls. Right. So this that you see here, these are all sapodilla trees that surround the waterfall, and that's where it got its name. Right. This is an unedited video. So you heard all the birds in the background there. Right. So this is what it means to wake up in the jungle with, the, with nature. Right. So we can say that Itzamna Society has succeeded in many ways, but one of them is to provide education to a lot of people. Right. So back in the day, we have had cultural activities. Say that we had ceremonies happening. We had a primisia happening for when Itzamna Society got back the national park back in 2019, right? Actually, September 26th. So it's been 3 years, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, it's been 3 years since Itzamna Society acquired the co-management of the Elijio Panti National Park again, right? But in educational groups, we have had several groups from led by FCD, and we also have had groups from the local schools, the surrounding schools, and we have had groups from like that had workshops at the national park, right? And also, um, the latest group we had was a group from UB, right, University of Belize, thanks to Dr. Piyosaki, who took the initiative of taking the students there, which of course was a marvelous experience for them, and you'll see why in just a bit. Okay, so we also have created alliances with other educational institutions or relevant authorities, right? Which that would be like niche, that would be like Henby, right? Thanks to Henby and the group of ladies that manage it, and also we have had with like tour groups, like tour guides and resorts and other stakeholders. So all of this is a very valuable experience for everyone that attends the Elijio Panti National Park. All right, so here, as I mentioned before, on the top left, there's a group of the environmental club with our rangers, right? The UB's environmental club, and on the top right, there's a group of children led by Mr. Justin Pook. Thanks, Mr. Justin. Like he took a group of students to experience the Elijio Panti National Park and teach them about ecology and ecology protection, right? And this will lead, of course, like to protecting for the young children to be aware of how to contribute to nature protection as well, right? And on the bottom right, you will see a picture of Dr. Piyosaki along with our rangers, Mr. Aurelio, Mr. Kenny, and Mr. Yoni, right? And they have done an amazing job at the Elijio Panti National Park. On the bottom left, there's a picture of a friend just enjoying the view of the Sapodilla waterfalls. And here I leave you with a surprise, which the students took. Right, they had an interesting experience that as just as the lecture was starting, then they discovered this beautiful animal right there. As a shy one, but and yeah, so they had an interesting experience there, And we're so happy that they got to experience that, because now we can say that after so much work, after 3 years, we can finally say that, hey, the wildlife is thriving and they're not afraid to join us, you can say, or be around us, right? Because back in the day, like, remember back in 2019 when we acquired the co-management of the Elijio Panti National Park, hunting was the biggest issue. But and it created conflicts with us, like trying to educate and also to engage with the farmers and the hunters, right? It was difficult, and to get the word across that, hey, this is, now we need to protect this national park because of these reasons. But slowly, little by little, we got a hold of it. And looting was another thing that we tried to stop, right? Because of people going hunting and looting, they destroy many of the resources that we have in the national park. And also another activity that hurts the national park from the inside is extracting the valuable resources, like say taking out a lot of medicine or the bay leaves and then not planting any back, right? So we're just taking and not giving anything to nature. Then we're unbalancing the environment basically, right? And also there's a lack of manpower, we can say, right? Because going back to the first pointer here, the encroachment, if the boundaries are not protected, then the encroachment will continue. There's a lot of people that need land. San Antonio is growing, 7 miles is growing, and so they need somewhere to build their homes and build their farmlands. Right, as you can see in the picture in the background, San Antonio Village now hosts about 3,000 people, and we need to encourage them to to, hey, like, make use of the land you have, because the national park, even though, like, if we de-reserve it, it's gonna be an issue for everyone, because the national park provides water, like all the natural resources that we need, the fresh air, right? And also, if the animals get out of the park, then you can hunt them, but you cannot hunt inside of the park. Um, Also, people, they're taking land and trying to apply for land inside the national park, inside the boundaries of the national park, and that has become an issue, right? A real conflict for us, and we have had to practice our conflict resolution skills in order for us to assist the farmers and help the national park, right? So one moment. All right, so here I have this video of an ocellated turkey, which just was on the roadside, and the rangers were trying to go as slow as they can so they don't startle the bird. Right? And it's a marvelous experience just to see these lovely animals in the national park. Little sexy walk there. So yeah, those are the things that, as I mentioned before, that create a healthier and a more a rich environment for everyone, right? There are opportunities for growth for everyone, and I can say proudly that we still have a few healers and shaman, or men, which we call in Maya, living in our communities, right? Unfortunately, we had a loss, so a few days ago, where Mr. Hino Hao, one of the the best snake bite healers, passed away, right? But I can say, fortunately, that he was able to teach some people, not everything he knows, unfortunately, but he shared some of the knowledge that he had. And also, we have the stakeholders who helped us, who help us protect the boundaries, right? We must acknowledge that the the stakeholders like say Mystic River Resort and the forestry department and even the Black Rock River Lodge, they help a lot by protecting our boundaries and assisting us in any way possible. Okay, and also we have, as I mentioned before, with educational institutions, we have a very good bond with several of the institutions, and we can say that uh, the work will continue with them and also with the tour groups, because with the tour groups, even though it's just for an hour, it's just for like 2 days visiting the national park, you get a lot of information outside, right? And it gets, the national park gets an exposure, the knowledge gets out there, and we also get to fulfill the goals of the national park, which is to protect and preserve the natural and the cultural resources within it. All right, so these are some pictures of Miss Maria Garcia when we did the Primicia ceremony back in 2019. And we have Dr. Well, not Doctor, but Mr. Wayne Hall. He's a good friend who uses his resources to be able to capture videos of birds, right? And being a bird lover, you get excited to see any bird, right? Especially like knowing like the history and the natural history behind the birds. It just makes you excited to learn more about them every day. And Mr. Wayne Hall has done an amazing job at sharing videos of the birds he encounters. Right? And a salamander on the bottom right. Um, this is was documented back in 2021 from a student from a university in the States. And it's a beautiful creature. We're so happy that that researchers and biologists are also making part of documenting the species that are within the Elijio Panti National Park. And on the bottom left, you can visit that page so you can see more pictures of, and of course, get more information about the national park itself. Right? Innovative practices, training for the villagers. So later on, Itzamna Society has a goal of training our community members, and some of the trainings that we're looking into providing are fire control, right? Because we're right next to the um, the mountain pine ridge, and we also have pine ridge forest or pine forest, we can say, in the Leo Ponte National Park. So it makes it uh, an asset for us to have people who can control fires, right? And also there's leadership trainings, conflict resolutions. We need the conflict resolution skills for our villagers and community members. And also tour guide trainings, since the information won't get out there if the tour guides don't take people there, right? So um, it has become a haven for tour guiding, which if you visit you will know why, right? Constable trainings, traditional farming trainings on seed bank creation, jungle survival, first aid, cave rescue, jungle rescue. All of these will be provided later on to our community members. And also, the biggest project that we will be working on is to reforest the watershed for San Antonio Village, right? And again, uh, drought is a real thing, climate change is a real thing, and all of us have experienced it. And we don't want the watershed of our community to dry out. And so we have had this dream of reforesting the watershed. Unfortunately, it's closely coming to well, it's gonna happen soon. Hopefully, we're not sure how soon, but it's one of the goals that we have as a fresh like the short term goals, right? And also it would be for a long term use, of course, right? So with that, I leave you with these amazing pictures of the black-headed trogon, the red-capped mannequin, and the ornate hawk eagle. And of course, we cannot forget the primates, right? So we had the howler monkeys right next to the visitor center. And also, like to reiterate, there's a lot of wildlife in within the national park, right? And all of these that you see, these four living creatures here were found right next to the visitor center in the Elijio Panti National Park. So I hope this served for good information for you, and thank you.